What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. I need to make my own movie called Will Needs a Wedding Date because I have a wedding coming up and I don't have a date and no one made a movie about me. Looks like it's time to post an ad on Craigslist, I guess. But anyway, let's get into my review of Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Okay, so Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates is a romantic comedy adventure film directed by Jake Szymanski. The film stars a big four, so to speak, and Adam Devine, Zac Efron, Aubrey Plaza, and Anna Kendrick that all play really unique and hilarious characters in their own way. The basic plot of this movie, which is loosely based on a true story, is exactly what the title would lead you to believe, that Mike and Dave need some wedding dates. Mike Stengel, played by Adam Devine, and Dave Stengel, played by Zac Efron, are given an intervention of sorts from their family members. They sit the two inseparable brothers down and tell them that they each need to bring a respectable girl as a wedding date to their little sister Jeannie's wedding in Hawaii, because usually they show up to weddings or other events without dates and they just hit on the girls and generally ruin the events with their reckless behavior. So Mike and Dave posted an ad on Craigslist basically saying, hey, this is a free trip to Hawaii if you come as our date, and the ad goes viral. Two girls, Tatiana, played by Aubrey Plaza, and Alice, played by Anna Kendrick, get word of the ad and form this plan to look like nice, clean girls and sway the two brothers to take them on a free and much needed vacation to Hawaii. Once they execute the plan and convince the Stengel brothers to take them to Hawaii, the rest of the movie is spent in Hawaii while the two couples, so to speak, rile each other up and do some crazy and reckless things that actually do sort of damage the wedding in one way, shape, or form. Okay, so when I saw the first trailer for this movie, I was like, wow, that looks absolutely terrible, and I can't imagine this really being a good movie. I also checked out the reviews and saw a lot of the certified critics hated this movie, and I was like, yeah, that was about what I expected. But I'm here to tell you that this movie is much better than the critics are telling you it is. I actually had a really good time with this film because it was a lot funnier than I expected it to be, and the performances were great all around. Now just be aware that this movie is rated R, so expect some seriously ridiculous and raunchy things to happen because that's what this movie's brand of humor is. So if that's not a brand of humor you think you're gonna find all that funny, then this movie is definitely not for you, because while it does have some romantic comedy elements, those moments are sort of few and far between. And I don't really think that this movie has one specific demographic, like men ages 18 to 30, that it's only gonna appeal to. For what it's worth, I was in a theater of crowded people with all sorts of ages and demographics, and everyone was laughing really hard at this movie. I think it really depends on what style of humor you prefer rather than what age and sex you are. I do think a lot of guys my age will really enjoy this movie, but I also think that a lot of people across all demographics will if you like this over-the-top style of comedy. There's a lot of dick and sex jokes, some naked women running around doing crazy things, and so on. So I just wanted to prepare you for that going in if you were on the fence about this one. Okay, so the acting performances in this one were great across the board. Adam Devine and Zac Efron are sort of the co-leads in this movie, and they actually play really well off one another from a comedy standpoint. Both their characters are unique in their own ways, and they each bring something different to the table. If you're a Workaholics fan, then you know Adam Devine already, and he definitely implements the same style of humor here that he does in that show. His character is definitely different in this movie than his character from Workaholics, but the delivery and overall approach to comedy is pretty similar. Zac Efron was also great in this one once again. This dude has some serious comedy skills because every comedy movie he's in, he seems to really shine. I think he and Adam Devine both have big things ahead of them in their careers for sure. Okay, so the duo of Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick was definitely one of the better parts of this movie. The two were both very funny and really well acted at the same time, and overall I was really impressed with their performances. Aubrey Plaza you may know from Parks and Rec, and Anna Kendrick probably from the Pitch Perfect movies, which they were both great in those roles too, but here I think they're even better. Aubrey Plaza's character is sort of the leader of the two, and she's basically just wild and crazy, while Anna Kendrick's character is sort of this sweet and crazy girl at the same time. The two also play off of each other really well, and their presence is definitely felt in a great way in this movie. Two characters I also thought were fantastic in this movie were the people actually getting married. Jeannie, played by Sugar Lynn Beard, and Eric, played by Sam Richardson, were also really good. The film as a whole is full of really unique and interesting characters, and while these two don't get the screen time of the big four, they definitely do very well with the time they're given. Okay, so one problem I had with some of the female characters in this movie is that someone, either at Fox or the screenwriters, felt it was necessary to over-sexualize them. Now listen, I'm a guy, I like seeing attractive women on screen as much as the next guy, but this movie definitely goes out of its way to sort of sell the sexiness of the women in this movie to their male audience. And I'm not usually the kind of person to complain about this sort of thing if it feels natural, but in this movie, the moments where like one of the girls will be naked or they'll be wearing some skimpy outfit, it felt unnecessary. Some people will argue this is just who their characters are, but I disagree. While these girls definitely do have wild and crazy sides, some things they do just in order to sell sex to their male audience are unrealistic. Like there's one slow-mo shot of the two main women in their bikinis on the beach, and it was just awkward because it felt out of place to the events going on at that point in the film. You get that slow-mo shot of them in their bikinis, then it just cuts to something entirely different that has nothing to do with that, and you're like, okay. This is just my take though, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. I also felt the movie sometimes was pretty stiff with its dialogue and cliche moments. There were definitely some jokes that fell flat for me and some dialogue that felt a little cheesy. Like there's some moments of self-reflection and introspection and I was just like, this is too romantic comedy and not the same tone as the rest of the movie. Overall though, I really did laugh a ton at this movie and that's what it's meant to do. It's supposed to be fun and ridiculous and really funny and it delivers on all those fronts. As a whole though, I thought the movie had some really good acting with some good comedic performances, really unique and interesting characters, a really funny and ridiculous brand of humor, and a fun story. I also thought the movie tended to over-sexualize the women characters to appeal to the male audience, the dialogue was a little stiff at times, and some cliche romantic comedy elements felt out of place. I'm still going to give this movie a very solid 8 out of 10 and say that you should definitely go see this one in theaters if you're looking for some laughs and good fun. So did you guys see Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates yet? What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, let me know whether you're excited to see this film or not. And as always, if you like this video, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future content like this. That's all for now. This is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.